here with an extra special Christmas layout for you today. This is for the Topsy Turvy hop that's happening today. We're doing a little topsy-turvy Christmas layout. So essentially we have some ladies from the Southern Hemisphere and kind of Southern United States who don't really get wintry Christmases, especially our Australian and Tasmanian friends, New Zealand friends. They have summer for Christmas. And of course, here in the Northern Hemisphere, we have winter for Christmas. And so we thought it would be fun. Holly and Mel kind of came up with this really cool idea to switch things around and maybe have the Northern Hemisphere scrapbookers scrapbook some summery Christmas pictures, and the Southern Hemisphere ladies all got some of our wintry, snowy Christmas photos. The idea being that when you buy a lot of collections, Christmas collections, because so much of the designers and companies are based out of the United States, a lot of the Christmas collections are just so intimately tied to winter. And so you have all these kind of wintry images, snowy images. Everyone's wearing toques and that kind of thing. And the ladies down south just don't get that. And so we thought it would be fun. It gave them an opportunity to use some of their more kind of snowy images on some Christmas stuff. And it gave us Northern Hemisphere ladies the opportunity to either just, use some of our fun stuff, or in those rare occasions, I tried hard to look and see, but there are a few rare occasions where there are collections with, summery Santa, Santa on the beach, that kind of thing. I actually, when I first edited my video, the first 10 minutes of this, even sped up, was me just going through every single Christmas piece I have, looking to see if I had any kind of summery, beachy Santa. I did not. I thought I did, but I did not. So I decided I have Mel's photos. And so Mel is definitely down south in Tasmania. And so she has, a heat wave going on for Christmas. And so we switched photos. So she got to do some of my winter photos. I sent her some photos from my family Christmas in Banff. We always go to Banff every year because I live in the foothills of the Rocky Mountains, so Banff is about an hour away. So I wanted to kind of send her that most iconic Christmas winter, Canadian winter kind of images, so she could use up all the snowy things that she had. And I thought for her pictures, because they're so light and airy and bright, I was going through them when I printed them off, and my mom was with me, and we were looking at family photos and our Santa photo. And when my mom came across those pictures, she instantly knew that they were not taken in a colder climate, because her daughter's in shorts and you can just see the bright sun coming through the windows and stuff. So she instantly knew. And so I thought, I'm going to go with some kind of bright, fun, different Christmassy colors. So I definitely wanted to stick to the greens and reds, but you can see I'm going with pinky greens, pinky reds, and almost lime and neon greens, and just brightening everything up. I also grabbed some sparkly cardstock, just like the Recollections cardstock, the packs you can get that are 8.5 by 11, but it's textured and kind of glittery. And I have one that's like a bubblegum pink. Actually, no, even more. It's more like a magenta. And then a Grinch green. It's super lime green, really, really pretty. And then I just looked through my stash and found a couple others that are kind of in those more pinks and limes. So I have some close to my heart papers in there, and a couple of papers that I got from Christy a few years ago when she sent me that amazing Happy Meal that she sent me. And I decided to go ahead and just print all of the pictures that Mel sent because they were all from the same day, the same Christmas. So I thought I'm going to go ahead and just make a 2-page layout. Now, I didn't know if she already has scrapped some of these photos. And so what I decided to do is make a 2-page layout that could stay as 2 pages. She could definitely keep them together. And there's enough kind of elements, I think, linking them that she could have this read as 2 pages. Or if she does already have some photos scrapped from this Christmas and she wanted to split these pages up, they definitely could be individual pages and they wouldn't have to be together. So I hope that I achieved that. That is sort of the goal I was aiming for. I think I did pretty good with it. So I started with 2 pieces from the Close to My Heart collection that I have there. What is that collection called? Is it Christmas Joy? Something like that. I don't have the... Oh, wait, I do. Hold on one second, and I will tell you. Here we go. It is the Holly Jolly collection. Those were literally my last 2 full pieces of it. So I tried to remember to keep the branding strips so that I could remember what it was called. I do have some scraps from it, and the branding strips are printed on one side, so I'll definitely keep those. But it's the Holly Jolly collection. It's from a few years ago. It's not brand new. And then I have some papers. So I took the green and white check and then that larger kind of grid patterned, stripy, almost plaid paper, and decided that those would be my backgrounds because, again, I think they're kind of like classic Christmas with just a slight modern twist and a little bit more kind of airy and breezy and summery. So I thought they made really good backgrounds. And then I did have that one scrap of the pink paper. So here you can see I was able to use that as my little mat going across the center of my layout. And so that definitely bridges the 2 layouts together because they share that pattern in common. And then on the other side, I just found another scrap that was in a really kind of funky, limey green with a nice, almost like a Nordic snowflake pattern, but like a very loose impression of it. So definitely Christmassy, but in that really bright green. So that's what I used to mat my other side. I ripped them on one edge just to have a little bit of interest, pop them down into the center. They're not quite the same width, but they are the same length. So I placed them in the same spot on the layouts, but one is just a little bit taller than the other when you see it. But again, once you get the pictures on, I feel like that's the kind of detail you don't necessarily notice. And especially if she ends up not having them as a 2-page layout in her album, you would never notice. And then I smushed some gold in the background. I definitely wanted to give her as much me as possible. So I really wanted to make sure that I included lots of techniques that I really enjoy doing. So tearing paper, definitely a favorite of mine. Smushing on the background, definitely a favorite of mine. The other thing I really wanted to do was give her the opportunity to be able to journal. I didn't want to go ahead and journal on these photos for her. So behind the center picture in each of my little kind of spreads of the photos, I did pop that up with some foam and put some tags in behind there. So they're not adhered down. It's just a nice little pocket. And I fully plan to mail these out to Mel so she can have them and she'll be able to journal on those tags. I was thinking about putting these little pictures down on the tags as sort of an interactive element, but I didn't want to necessarily, dictate how she might document these in an album and include interactive elements if that isn't something that she normally does. Plus, the pictures are just so cute. And I knew that they would kind of make a fun little added bonus kind of popped up somewhere on the page. So I decided to go ahead and just leave those tags empty. And then here you can see what I kind of do with those little pictures. So I printed her photos. There are 2 3x4s on this page. They're portrait size or portrait, arranged in portrait what's the word I'm looking for? Direction. And then on the other one, they're in landscape. And then the center picture here is like 4x4. And on the other side, there's also a 4x4, but it's to the side that you can see there instead of in the center. And then those two little pictures are 2x2s. So lots of kind of fun sizes, which is something else I really love to do. And so that was another little kind of nod to me in these. And then the last thing I decided, because I was having so much fun doing it for my Christmas cards, punching out circles and making little ornaments on my Christmas cards. I did a bunch of the watercolor cards. You can go and check out those videos if you want to see how I did them. But I just really enjoyed that, and I did it quite a bit this year and made a lot of Christmas cards with that same sort of element. So I thought it would be fun to go ahead and add that too, because that's kind of like my little signature for this season, I guess you could say. I'm definitely going to be adding it into my December daily and probably a couple of my own layouts. And so I thought I would go ahead and put that on hers too. So I punched out those glitter papers. I punched out a pink paper that has that sort of starburst pattern to it in a really light pink. And then I punched out that same green paper that I used here as my little layer. And so those are my little ornaments. I went ahead and outlined them with some black marker. I used a thicker black Sharpie on the glitter ones just because they're really bumpy and there was lots of texture. And then just a regular like 0.5 Sharpie on the flat paper. So yeah, that's kind of how the design all came together. I played around a little bit with the pictures, but I didn't want to fuss too much. Once I kind of got the idea and figured out which pictures I wanted on which page, I decided to go ahead and just start plonking things down and letting my gut take over, and just, where things kind of looked good, that's where they ended up staying. So I think they turned out super cute. Definitely different for me for Christmas, because I don't tend to use such bright colors. I definitely tend to go for very traditional, kind of like cooler reds and that darker green. And of course, a lot of my pictures are kind of wintry in nature, so I use up all of the winter stuff. And as I was going through my stash, I was genuinely surprised at how much was winter. Even going through my stickers and trying to find like little woodland creatures or something like that. And then I realized like all the woodland creatures in the collections are more sort of North American creatures. Like it's all deer and bears and foxes and those types of things. So it's definitely one of those things where Christmas definitely is associated with winter. So it was fun to put a bit of a summery spin on it. I did find those really cute trees. That is actually sticker packs that are kind of like that plastic puffy sticker. They came from Dollarama, and I thought they kind of worked because the reds are just slightly pinkish and they're sort of metallic. So just they were, a little different and kind of mixed with all of the different textures that I already had going on. And then the one tree on this page has sort of almost like a bluish green, and then a different kind of green, like a lighter green, and then that reddish pink. And then this one is more of a traditional Christmas tree, but there was no snow or anything on the branches. So I thought that worked really good. I grabbed a couple other little stickers that I could find that were in the pinks. One says the word celebrate, and so I thought that worked because it was nice in the pinks. And then I also plopped down a Merry Christmas on one side, and I kind of left the embellishments a little bit more simple because I really wanted you to be able to see the pictures for starters, because there's a big cluster of pictures on each one, but then also some of those little more subtle details like in these ornaments, where I've got sketchy lines around them, and I'm painting the little tops of them where they hang from and that kind of thing. So I really wanted those more subtle things to stand out a little bit, and it is pretty busy with lots of patterns and stuff anyways, so I didn't feel like I had to start super over embellishing. And definitely that is also a me thing, so hopefully Mel is okay with that. I think she's probably on board with that the same way that I am. So yeah, I think we'll be good there. Hopefully you are not picking up on all the noise happening upstairs. My daughter is having a Christmas party with her friends. They are having lots of fun with the gift exchange, and obviously have been getting each other really awesome gifts, because every single thing that's getting opened, they're like, wow, yeah. They're very excited upstairs. And then because they're all 19 now, they decided to do a cocktail contest. So they all had to make cocktails that are based off of their favorite Christmas movies, and they've really put a lot of work into them, and they have like prizes that they're going to give out for most creative, and the one that everyone could guess the best, the one that no one could guess. And they have like big giant 2-foot tall party hats that they all have to wear based on what their cocktails were voted. So they're having a ton of fun upstairs. We made them a bunch of goodies and charcuterie boards and like spinach dip and stuff like that. So they are having a lot of fun. But you might be able to hear that a little bit. And I'm okay with that, because they're having festive fun, and I kind of like when my daughter has all her friends around, and yeah, it's pretty cool. But anyways, just as a disclaimer, if you're hearing the noise, that's what's going on. So when you are done watching my video, I definitely would love if you hopped on over to Mel's video. But there's also links down below for everyone else who is playing along. So we also have Ashley and Christine and Holly, like I mentioned, Karen and Linda and Shannon. And so you've got half of us sort of more southern and half of us more northern. So, you know, just kind of a fun little topsy-turvy twist. We just, on our little chat, sent each other pictures that we thought they might enjoy, the opposite person might enjoy scrapbooking. So like I said, I definitely sent a bunch of snowy pictures, so did Holly, and you know, we got back some more kind of fun, festive, summery Christmas photos. But if you hop on through, you'll be able to see how everybody kind of, you know, interpreted the task of scrapbooking pictures from the opposite side of the world, or just from the opposite side of the country. So from like a colder climate to a warmer climate, and it's tons of fun. So please go and hop through, subscribe to anyone that you aren't subscribed to. This is a super, super talented group of ladies, really, really fun, hardworking, just lovely group of ladies. So they all offer a ton of inspiration. If you're not subscribed to them, I'm sure they would super appreciate if you said hi and, you know, left a comment and liked and subscribed. And please do that to my channel as well if you haven't already. I hit my 2,000 subscriber goal and I literally cried. I was so excited. And so now I am in the mindset to get myself to 3,000 by the end of 2024. So if you would like to help me with that goal and that journey, thank you so, so much. Click subscribe. It's hard for me to ask people to do that because it's definitely out of my comfort zone and out of my wheelhouse, but I do truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And so, yeah, let me finish up with this layout so you can kind of see all the details here. The camera does pick up some of the little sparkles in that paper, and I've got my hidden tickets or my hidden tags there, and some sequins. Oh, the camera did not like the shimmer on that one. Lots of sequins and a little bit more splattering, and that's it. That is my double page layout for Mel. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. And until next time, happy scrapping. Bye.
Button, my channel.